Good morning. Welcome to my studio. This is Bernaid Flournoy, spreading a little art joy over here. Yesterday, I talked about the weekend recap, and I said that I would paint this with you live. Now, this is the full page that, am I supposed to have it in the download? You know what? I will put it in the download later so that you can go and grab it. But I'm going to do the smaller size so that I could do it in a shorter session. So you might want to do that as well. When you get your downloads, you might want to make them a little smaller so that you could have a little art snack, for your mental wellness. All right. So I am about to invite myself. Yesterday I didn't. I just went on into the weekend recap. So if I send you an invite, it will look like that. Join me on StreamYard. Well, what happened here? Let me go back. There we go. Join me on StreamYard. I'm going to click that. I think I did. I'm trying not to. Hello. So then you would click that link. All right. Try to have a good data Wi-Fi connection. Sometimes you can't control it. And even if it's good, most days, every now and again, there's a glitch. So once you get that and you click on there, you're not automatically on the screen. You have to put in your display name. That could be just simply your name, your first name, or your business name, or your website link there. And then we're going to enter the studio. All right. Now I have it so it can automatically populate in the studio. Okay, so here we are right here. Here we are. We're ready to paint. I'm looking at you here. All right, we're over here. Okay, so that is the computer where everything is running. Got my little notes there. This is Bob. This is where Bob is. Bob, is knocked out over here. He's always right here. Okay. Now you remember a few weeks ago I did the teapot Amazon haul that we did it. We did it. All right. So we're just gonna brush right on by that. It's cute. And now you can see what we're getting ready to paint. All right. So I'm gonna pop you on here. How you doing? I don't know if I even asked you. It's fall, almost. It's pre-fall. How are your sinuses doing? Okay. There we go. We have you up on the screen now. Paint Cam is vivid and ready. Why does that seem so clear? Oh, that's delicious. All right. Is that a fooling me? Because I'm going to do the Paint Cam a different way soon. Okay. I'm going to pop out and see if the Paint Cam will be first. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it does not. All right, go grab your crayons, colored pencils. I always have mine handy. For some of the small detailed areas, this was easy to handle with the brush. What size brush is this? Does this even say? It could be like a number 1 or number 2, but even this size 6 will also work when it's wet and it comes to a point. So you want to make sure you have the right brush for the job. If you only have one brush that may not be right for the job, you could still make it work, but I would not use this one for the little small detailed areas. You want something that comes to a point. So go grab your things. There are some wonderful downloads in there right now for a limited time. So let me move this to the side. I don't know. I just have to have some balloons around, okay? It just makes me happy. All right. So for Art Joy, this is what I'm doing. Coming to you live. And I may start pre-recording some. But now when I launch my membership, I will be live in there for them. I will still come on here live. I just don't know the logistics. I have to map that out with my team, namely AKA my family. All right. So hopefully you have all the things. I want to have this over here so you could still see it, but right now I don't have a third camera, so I don't quite know where to put this. How about, let's see if we can prop this here without knocking things over. Is that okay? Is that going to work? It's there. Okay. I don't know how good it is, but it's there. So let's come on and bring it a little bit closer and get going. All right, here we are. And I hope that this is not too distracting for you back here. I just like to protect the surface of the clipboard if I can. It's not a big deal, but that's what I'd like to do. Now, I wouldn't mind doing a little bit of colored pencil in here, but we're going for it. And we're just going in here with this number 6. And I'm just going to show you that if it doesn't have a lot of paint on it, that point, I'm trying to get there right to the camera, that point, is very small. Let's see, what do I want to do this time? And I may make the background totally different. And I think I'm going to save the background for last. So, do I have any pink over here? You know what? How about a little red? Let me go ahead and spritz down my paint. I'm going to shift over just a tad bit. Okay, shifting over so you can see my paint. I'm just going to go ahead and spritz it. You don't have to do that, but it is nice. Whoopsie. And you do not want to wet your computer up. Okay, you don't want to do that. So it is nice to have everything right here. Okay, so I'm going to move this off. Oh boy, this is that jelly tape from our teapot. Okay, we would have to hot glue this because it's cute, but yeah, that was a lot of work for one, but we did it. It's on tape. It's filmed. We made it. We survived. No one got harmed. All right, so I think I am going to make this red. So what I am going to do is go get this larger brush that I said I wouldn't use for the details, and I'm just going to go right on in here. Ooh, it's time to change that water. But we're going to move forward. We're going to go ahead and just give the paper a drink of water so that when we add our paint, we don't have as many lines. You wet the surface for a little wet on wet. That helps blend the paint. So you see I'm going back over here, but I'm pressing very soft. I'm just trying to make sure the paper is soaked a little bit because we're about to put this red paint on here and we want it to be a smooth blend. So now let's go get the paint. I'm going to dip in, and we already kind of woke the paint up a little bit. So it's a little bit juicy and ready. And now we're going to go for it. I'm going carefully near the edge. And even though we wet the paper and we gave the paper a drink of water, we have to keep moving so that it does not create a line. Or we try to avoid them as much as possible. So I'm putting that over here, but I'm kind of going back trying to spread it. So you want to work this very fast. I'm going near the edge. Okay, and I have a lot of paint right here, so I'm just dipping in that. I'm going right back near this edge. All right, I am glad that you are watching with me today. Oop, I am going to turn it. In the classroom, I tell the children, if possible, you make it work depending on which way your hand moves. Now, my hand moves best that way, so I'm going to turn the paper so it will work for me, give me the best outcome. So everybody thinks that it has to be painted, right side up. Now, for videotaping purposes, that may or may not be true, but for a very nice final image, I want to make sure I'm taking care. All right, so I'm going back to blend this in a little bit, getting near that edge. And so we are painting with, what do you call it? What do you call these? What did I say it was earlier? Training wheels. So now don't be, intimidated by the subject, especially when you have some good training wheels on. All right. Now we can go back here, baby, and go for it. I can tell that my paint, not my paint, my water is waking up the printing ink. And it will, like I said, run a little bit, but it's not so much till it's, what do you call it, off-putting. So I know what's happening. All right, boy, that's exciting, that's fun, and that's happening fast. So let's keep moving. I'm trying to decide what color do I want back here. All right, let's keep going. The decisions are tough sometimes, and I don't have my color wheel out here. Let's see. All right, decisions. What are we doing back here? Because I still didn't decide totally what we were doing back here. I wanted that kind of camel color. Let's go for it. It may be a little bit gaudy, but hey, it is what it is. Unless we do a patriotic theme. Let's go ahead. So now I've got the paint right on the tip of my brush, and I'm treating my brush like it is a colored pencil. So we're going in all these little grooves. We're going right around here. Just kind of keep it moving. Don't press down too much. And I kind of press down when I want to release a little bit more paint, because it's there, but we are just delivering it ever so carefully right on the tip. So, like I say, I am moving that brush, and I am going back to dipping here. Now this may not be a traditional fall color. Sometimes I'll plan out the colors, but sometimes, just in the moment, what is it that you want to do? Well, that's not so neat up in there, but let's go ahead and try to clean that up. And when you hear me get quiet, it's because I'm trying to walk and chew gum, okay? And this is why I tell the kids when they're creating, focus, be quiet. You're solving a visual problem. And we take it serious. All right, so let me blend this blue right here a little bit. Go back in there. All right, here we are. There we go. So you can go with any color design that you'd like. Let me come over here. But it's working. All right, so let's keep moving. I have no idea. I have no idea what to make these colors up in here. Absolutely none. Let's see. I'm looking, and we have a limited palette over here, so I don't know. We're just going to go ahead and add a little green to the middle, honey. I don't know what color to add. Okay. And then that way it's still kind of neutral. We get a little bit of water, get a little bit more green. And like I was telling the kids, and they're noticing it a little bit, that the green kind of feels like hand sanitizer. It's got something else in there. The green and the purple, and I think the orange. The blue is better, more like a stain. All right, so we put that in there. I hope that green doesn't feel too springy, but I didn't know what to put in there. And leave everything else white. How about we just go back and paint that circle? It's just kind of random. We get a little bit of water right on the tip. Already plenty of paint right here. Just got a little water to help smooth it out, wet it, and we could add maybe a little brown or something to this red to make it a little bit darker, but I'm just going with straight red. Coming around there, giving it a little bit more of a 3D feel right here. Okay, so we're going to leave that alone. And then let's go ahead and handle this background. I'll go ahead and pull this blue on over here, and then we'll handle the background quickly. All right. So this one is pulling together pretty fast. I'm just wetting this, coming back. Add a little bit more water, a little bit more paint. All right. Just because, and like I said, you can come up with any color combination that you like, that you're in the mood for, that may go with your surroundings, your office, or whatever. Now, I wonder if I leave that heel white. Are we going to have problems? We're coming up underneath here, and we're going right back up over it to kind of act like that's the shadow up underneath here. All right, so it's slowly happening. I'll go ahead and make the rest of the hill red. All right. I don't know what color combination you would have. I'm going to dip in, get a little bit of water, and take whatever red I have, and we're just going to move it along quickly, and then add a little bit more paint. Okay, that will help us keep it nice and smooth. So the paper isn't as thirsty, and we're going to keep it moving. I'm not going to worry about too much of the shading and the shadow here. I think it's making its own statement right here. Why not? Let's go ahead and just make this part green and keep going with our life. Oh, we need some water. Now this is a very tiny area, and I'm just using this little area right off to the side on my little scrap paper to get rid of some of that excess water. All right, so here we are, because we're getting ready to go in there, and I'm just using this to soak it up like a mop. We're getting ready to now go in here and do this background on this little teeny tiny one. We did the larger version back here. Try not to knock the cameras over. And so we're just going for it, okay? Now we're gonna do a little wet on wet. So this is really gonna get the feel of like a paper towel that's drenched, but that's okay. We're gonna go back here, and we're gonna try to move quickly. Whoop. I'm gonna keep the water where I want the paint to flow. Oh, we need to change our water over here. All right, so we're moving fast along the outside, and as we get close to the image, we move a little slower so we can stay in control. Now I've got the big brush for this. Now you may want to use a smaller brush to go along the image if you're more comfortable with that number 6 or whatever. I'm just shouting out some numbers so you have a few little guidelines when you get to the art store or when you order your brushes. Now I'm going in here with this number 6 and I'm picking up some of the dried paint out of my container. So yeah, it's time to change this water. All right, so I'm going along here because we're getting ready to put that black back there with a little blue. All right. Do I want to use the big brush? I am, because we're going for it. All right, now remember, the black is super duper powerful and strong. All right, so we're just going to go out here first, and then we're going to keep it moving. Even though we gave the paper some water to drink, it's still going to want to soak in and make a little bit of a line. All right, so we're right here and it's still soaking in, and I'm just going right along the edge. Like I say, if you're more comfortable using the smaller brush, then do so. Okay, I'm just going for it. Why not? Oh, no, I heard something glitch over here on this computer. I hope our connection is still strong. All right, so here we are. Just going right back up over here again. And I may need to come back with that small brush right here along the edge. All right, yes, we are brave, we are strong, we're going for it. Here we go. I may have a little bit too much paint. We're gonna go right on ahead, real close. Whoopsie, you gotta be careful. Now, you remember how I told you I'm not gonna, when I'm focused, I can't talk. Unless it's absolutely mandatory that I say something, I'm gonna be quiet. All right, I'm coming back down here with whatever I have left in this brush. Let me go ahead and clean. Let's get this out of the way real fast. Ooh, there is a gray hair on this brush that I need to cut. All right, so here we are. We're right along the edge here, going right back where we kind of started. And now let's cut on down here. Let's get the smaller brush. And let's go on in here for this precise surgery right here. Oh, honey, I got my hand right here. You can't see anything. I am so sorry. Let me back away because I'm too close with my glasses on. You know how a painter, what do you call it, masks off the walls, and then they also have like that 2-inch brush that they get in there for like the more precise work. This is how I'm feeling right now. All right. Here we are. Okay, I think we filled in everything. We got a little bit of black back over here that we need to fill in. Let me get close again to this heel. Is this my timer going off? And it is. Let me dismiss that. All right, so we are close to time, but I think we did okay. All right, so that's powerful. Let me clean up my, well, I said I'm going to clean the water anyway, so. But I like to dip in the water and then wipe off the majority of the pigment on my paper towel. That helps keep my water clean, but it is time to change it. So here we go. So like I said, it is very flip-floppy. I need to go back up over there. How nice is that? Let's go ahead and add to stage. I am going to clip this up underneath the clipboard simply because it is super duper wet. How fun is that? Let me get the other clipboard. See if I can do that. Ow! I did that one. The paint party lady. Underneath the painted pose. I can't see. Let me pull this one back a little bit. Okay. So it depends on what you want to do and how you want to do it. Let's see, are we in the right spot? We need to pull this one back, pull this one in, push this closer. There we go. That's a little better. Trying to angle it down from the light. I'm not being very successful with this. Let me get a better grip. All right. Here we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, trying to shield it from like the bright light. But yeah, there we go. You could do it any color combination that you'd like. How fun is that design? All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm looking at the time. We did pretty good for our little time. So you could work very quickly with watercolor. It would take you a little longer with colored pencils, crayons, but not really. This image is not that large. And so let's say a quarter page, you can get done in less than a half an hour, right? Unless it's something really complex and you want to come back and add more details. You know, this is fun. This is cute. Did I not put it in there? Was I supposed to put something else in there? If I forgot, please email me or let me know. All right. So I want you to have an amazing day. Thank you for joining us for a little art practice, a little art joy, a little art for wellness, art for self-care. You know, we're just over here doing what we love to do, sharing art with you. So have an amazing day, okay? Go out here, do something great. Do something that makes your heart sing. Spread a little art joy in your way, okay?